Okay, so we're over here on page 249 of our books, and we're looking at this question here, which is a tissue box. So a tissue box is shown below. Draw A, an elevation in the direction of arrow A, B, a plan projected from the elevation in the direction of arrow B, and C, the complete surface development of the tissue box. So we're asked to draw a plan A, which is here, looking in at this direction of arrow A, or an elevation A, a plan B, and also C is the complete surface development of this. Now, we also have to note that the tissue box has an opening at the top of the shape, and it's in the shape of an ellipse. This ellipse has a major axis, which is 80 mil, so the major axis is the wide one here, and a minor axis of 40 mil, so that would be this one here, and is located at the center of the top of the surface. The opening must be shown in both the plan and the development, so you can see it in the plan and also in the development. Now this opening, if you think of a tissue box, isn't going to go all the way through. Okay, it's only going to be on the top. So let's have a go at doing that first. So we're going to try to do the elevation first. So it's 120 wide by 35 tall. So I'm going to go over to my sheet here. And I'm going to draw this 170 mil down page. So I'm going to come down 150. I'm going to come down 150. And just about halfway across the page, I'm just going to draw a line, and that's going to be my XY line in just a moment. So the width of that is 120. So I'm just going to measure in 20 mil, and from that point 20 mil in, I'm going to measure in 120. Okay, so both of these points now are 120 mil away from each other. Now, I know that in the elevation, that has a height of 35 mil. So I'm going to measure up from one of them points 35 mil. And just project a line over here to the right, and then go over to this point here, which is 120 mil across, and draw a line vertically up. And then I'm going to draw a horizontal line, so I can actually start drawing these with firm lines now. And I'm going to label that XY. So this is my XY line. Make sure that you're labeling that. And once you're finished drawing the elevation, I'm just going to measure up 5 mil and 5 mil, and just going to label that the elevation. Okay, so just labeling that now the elevation. Okay, so directly below the elevation we're going to have the plan. So I'm going to project down the width of both of them sides. So projecting this one down and projecting this one down. And 20 mil underneath, I'm going to start drawing the plan of that shape. So I've measured down 20 mil, and I'm going to start drawing the plan here. So let's go back to the book, and I can see that the plan is 50 mil wide here. Okay, so I'm going to measure down 50 mil. And that's the outline of my plan. So I'm just going to come up 5 and 5 here again, and I'm just going to label that PLAN, plan. Okay, so we have my elevation and we have the plan. But we also know that there is an ellipse shape on that plan as well. Okay, so what the question said was that in the center of this shape there's an ellipse with a major axis of 80 mil and a minor axis of 40 mil. So first things first, I want to find the middle of that shape. So I know it's 25 tall, or 50 tall, so I'm going to draw a line through the center, which is 25 mil off the 25 mil in and 25 mil in, so it's 50 altogether, so 25 up, we'll find halfway. And the overall width of that shape is 120, so if I measure in 60, which is half that, and a vertical line, I've now found the center of that rectangle. Okay, I could also join the corners to find the center, but this is just the way I opted to do it. Okay, so we have a major axis of 80 and a minor axis of 40. Okay, so to find a radius of, so that the minor axis is 80, which more or less means the largest circle in the construction is going to have a diameter of 80. So if it has a diameter of 80, it's going to have a radius of 40. So I'm going to mark out from the center 40 mil, and the same for that 40 minor is going to be 20 mil. Okay, so I've measured out here from the center 20 mil and 40 mil. Okay, so let's zoom in on this now for a minute. Okay, 20 mil and 40 mil. And I'm going to swing two circles. And these are constructions, so keep your line weight very light. Okay, so we can see now that we have a major and a minor circle. The minor being the smaller one, the major being the larger one. And what we want to do now is split them up using the 30-60 method. So a 30-degree line going through the center, a 30-degree line in the opposite direction going through the center, a 60-degree line going through the center, and a 60-degree line in the opposite direction going through the center. Okay, so they're going to help us find points on the ellipse later on, but we already know 4 points on that ellipse. The top of the minor circle, the bottom of the minor circle, the right of the major circle, and the left of the major circle. Okay, so there are 4 points that I know already. Okay, next thing I want to do is go to where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points cross on the minor circle. Okay, so see where these lines hit the minor circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where they cut the minor circle, I'm going to draw a line away from the center line. So this is the center line going down here. So I'm going to draw them away from the center line. So if I'm on this side, they're going to go to the right. If I'm on this side, they're going to go to the left. Okay, so this is 1 point that's going to be moved to the left. This point here is going to be moved to the left. This point is going to be moved to the left. This point moved to the left. This point here is going to be moved to the right. This point here is going to be moved to the right. This point here moves to the right. And this point here moves to the right as well. Okay, so from where the lines cut the minor circle, I'm going to go to the right horizontally. This time, where the same lines cut the major circle, I'm going to draw vertical lines, and these vertical lines are going to go through towards this center line. So this one is going horizontally, the center line is going horizontally across. They're going to go towards that. So the ones up here are going to come down, the ones down here are going to go up. And where they cross, are going to give us a point on our ellipse. So look here, this one's going up and it crosses this line here, and that's going to be a point on my ellipse. Same as here. Same as here. Okay, so I found now 12 points on my ellipse, and what I want to do is just go over this with a firm line, or a construction line first. So I'm just joining these dots up with a construction line first. Okay, and once I'm happy enough with that construction line, I can go over it with a firmer line. Okay, and that's our ellipse on the plan of our shape. Okay, so the next thing we need to do now is to draw a development. So what I want to do first is draw the development without this ellipse on it. So to do that, I'm going to project out the plan to the right. Okay, and I'm just going to draw a firm line, just 50 mil away from my plan. And I know that the width of my plan is 120 mil. So I'll draw that point in as well. Okay, so this is my first part of the plan, and this is actually going to be a fold line. So it's going to be dot, dot, long, dot, dot, long, dot, dot, long, dot. Okay, so that's my fold line. And the next I'm going to have is, so this is a plan, then I'm going to have an elevation. So the elevation I know is, I think it was 35 tall. Yeah, 35 tall. So I'm going to measure up another 35. So I'm actually going to project a line, construction line, vertically up here like this, and another construction line vertically up like this. Okay, and as I said, I'm just going to measure up 35 mil. Okay, next then I'm going to have another plan. So I know that the plans are 50 mil tall, so from that I'm going to measure up another 50 mil. And another 35 mil from that, so it will be another elevation. Okay, and from here I'm going to measure out 35 mil. Okay, so this is going to be an end view. So if there was an end view, I'm going to measure out 35 mil and draw in a shape here, and 35 mil and draw in another rectangle here as well. And just put in 2 fold lines there as well. Okay, so just before I finish that now, I want to just measure up 5 and 5 and label that the development. Okay, so there's my development. The development would look like a plan, then an elevation, a plan, another elevation, and an end view at this end and an end view at this end. So when we fold that all together, that would look like the tissue box, apart from one of the faces needs to have or ellipse shape. So I could go and I could draw another ellipse here, or I could go and draw another ellipse here. Now, I know that I've projected this plan across here to draw this plan here. So what I can actually do is project across this ellipse as well. So the plan here is to take this ellipse and project it across here. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we could do it, but the best one is to first find the center line here. Okay, so I'm going to measure in 60 and I'm going to measure up the center line. Now, I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points on this ellipse already. So the first point, which is here, is the furthest point down. This point and this point are actually on the same line. So if it was drawn properly, these would be on the same line. This point here and this point here are on the same line. This point here and this point here are on the same line. This point here and this point here are on the same line. This point here, the same line. And this point up on the top is on a line of its own as well. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines. So I'm going to project the 7 lines across to the right. Okay, and as I see here now, I have a center line. Okay, so if you see, there's actually 2 points already on the center line. So zoom in here a small bit. See the center line going through this circle here. The top and the bottom point are on that. So if I go to this center line, the top and the bottom point are going to be on that center line. Okay, next one I want to find is this point here and this point here. Okay, both of these points. So what I can do now is I can grab my compass and go to the center. So I'm going to see my compass, the sharp point is on the center line. Okay, so not on the top point, I move down to the line here, and I'm going to open my compass then to that point. Okay, so I'm taking this measurement from the center line to this point, taking that measurement with the compass, and I'm going to bring it over to the center line. Okay, so I'm just going horizontally across from it, and I'm going to scribe here and here, and that's this point and this point. Okay, and if you go down to these 2 points down here, you'll notice that it is the same measurement. Okay, so if I go to the center point and to that point, same measurement. So bring that across and scribe them 2 points while you're at it. 1 and 2. Okay, let's do the same now with the next 2 points up. Okay, open my compass like so, go across that line all the way to the center and scribe 1 and 2, and come down to this point here as well and scribe 1 and 2. And then finally, the widest 2 points, so from the center, open it to the widest point like that, bring it across to the center, 1 and 2. Okay, go over that now with a construction line. And once you're happy with that shape, then go over it with a firm line. Okay, so that's how to draw the tissue box on page 249 of your books. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you found that helpful.